First thing I'm going to do is get Scotty that check that I owe him for that introduction. I owe you big time for that one, buddy. Wow. Oh, I was trying to recognize who you were talking about. Jeez, that's good stuff. I appreciate that kind introduction, Scotty. Of course, we have the best CEO in the country. And I don't do that justice, really, when you think about what Scotty represents in this company. But not only Scotty, but all of our executive team, and certainly it starts with the Parkers and their exemplary work with this company. So I was somewhat straggling on the side of the road when they found me. So they sort of drugged me in here, and it's given me an opportunity to be a part of what is already an exemplary organization. I don't bring very much to it at all, as much as I'm working every day to try and stay out of the way, Scotty, and so we can be a little productive around here, get some things done. So it's a real honor to be here. And Scotty alluded to some of my football paralysis, and you know, my football days, I was known as a short yardage and goal line specialist. In one particular place, I played in 4 different places. One of those places was in Detroit with the Lions, and I played with a guy named Derrick. Who ever heard of that guy? Yeah, he wasn't too bad, was it? I used to, you know, carry his little weight, you know. Yeah, he was okay. They brought me in. The guy wasn't getting it done, you know, just one of those kind of things, you know. But I played with this guy, and you know, Derrick was famous for running that ball all the way down the field. We get to the 2-yard line, and they'd take him out, and they would put yours truly in. And I was tasked with getting the ball in from 1 to 2 yards out, and sometimes we're in the middle of the field. I was tasked with getting a yard. I would come out, and then I would only go back in is when he was either tired, injured, or some of those kinds of things. But I say all of that to say that, you know, I'm not going to be long-winded tonight, okay? It's going to be short and sweet, y'all, with that. And so you've had a long couple of days, and certainly I know there's a lot you're digesting. There's a lot of decompression opportunities of coming here for you. So I don't want to be here all night with you. I've got to task myself with 23 minutes or so and be done. But I've often said it's not how long, you know, it's how impactful, you know. And I wasn't in the ball game very long with the Lions, but the impact was pretty amazing over the 3 years I played with the greatest running back in the world. To be completely honest, at least I think so. Even though I was better, but I just that's another talk. I give that talk another time. But I want to say I'm very interactive when I'm working with groups, and so I'm going to start early with you. And what I need from you, I'm going to give you something, and I need you to give me something. You've been here a couple of days, correct? Yes. Yeah. I need some takeaways from you for about 3 minutes. I need at least 3 people to give me at least one takeaway from your experiences here in Meridian. Now, again, that could be, I want it to be very applicable, of course, and it could be from A to Z, something that's really resonating with you in your encounters with Meridian, obviously our company, our executive team, the training and all the things that you've experienced over those 2 days. I want to get a couple of takeaways, at least 3, from 3 different individuals, and then I will continue and finish in about 19 minutes. Give me 3 people. Oh, that's one. Yeah, I love it.
Papa Jeff.
Yes, sir. I know who you are.
One of the main things that I've always taken away from being associated with One Life is the attitude they have about our Lord Jesus Christ.
My goodness. Thank you. You know, the word attitude is something that you didn't just say anything when you said that. The attitude, you know. And you know, this company, as you know, Scotty is famous for saying this. You know, you don't have to be a Christian to be a part of this organization. But this organization, you know, is really unapologetic about its faith-based values, and certainly, boy, that was a real draw for me. And I don't believe you can do anything without faith. I really believe that. Thank you for that. Great takeaway. Give me 2 more.
Here.
Commitment and hard work.
Commitment and hard work. Expound just a little bit more for me.
Well, most of the speakers, especially Alan's been great this go around, and one of the things he said, you're going to take away from this company whatever you put into it.
Wow.
And so in order to do that, you have to work hard, but you have to be committed to the process.
Who's agent number 1 for One Life?
Stephen.
First ever agent number 1. Benji, who is it?
Alan Bowles.
Wow. And obviously he's put a lot into it,
Right.
and a lot's returned, you know what I mean? That's really good stuff. Give me one more. Give me one more. Right here, man.
Well, one of the things I take away is, go back on with you, my first meeting was with the Christianity part to it, because I came from a company that was Christian based. But I feel like so much is on a personal, that they're talking, I know they're talking to all of y'all too, but I feel like they're talking directly to me. And so I feel a personal connection, what they're teaching me.
How about that? You ever been in church?
They're
Sometimes that preacher's talking, sometimes it seems like he's just talking to you. I'm like, how the heck did you know that? I'll take a couple more. Pardon me here.
One more. Benji hit it, I think, on the head today. Maybe not the soul, but certainly the heart. He says, our business is to sell from the heart, not the wallet. Look first for the client, not for yourself.
Wow.
Amen.
What perspective, Benji Cruz. Wow. I saw one more hand. You got time for that? One more. There's that corner guy.
I just want to say, unfortunately, I had to miss yesterday, but I have really thoroughly enjoyed today. I'm a believer also, and it's been a blessing to me. And I'm just thankful that I got to come, and everybody that I've met has just been inspiring. It's been inspirational, and I'm learning a lot too.
Wow. There are many places in corporate settings where you can bring your faith to work. Isn't that good? Gosh, man. You can bring your faith to work. Are you serious about that? Right here.
Just their dedication and passion, and it definitely transfers from you guys to people that are listening.
Very good. Thank you all. Oh, one more. We get one more.
To me, it kind of, One Life is set apart. When God talks about being holy, and that means that you're set apart. And what these guys are doing here sets One Life apart from everything else. If you understand what I'm saying.
I do. I certainly do. I think that's a great lead into what I'm going to leave you with this evening. Set apart and the uniqueness of this organization. And it's not just its sales capacity or its earning capacity or its outcomes as a result of its incomes, but it's really about the people, the individuals that make it happen. And certainly that is reflective in the success of this organization, but the true, genuine sincerity of its leadership, and it permeates itself throughout the organization. Those are things that have been discoveries for me along the way. I've had dialogue and discussions with not only our executive personnel, but certainly our agents and all those that touch this organization. So that sort of segues me into this piece of my final few moments with you. I'm an advocate, really, of a concept that says of the we and the us kind of people, and not the me and the you kind of people. I'm an advocate of the we and the us kind of people, and not the me and the you kind of people. And you might ask why? Because I would say, for one, it's a whole lot easier to get along with and to work with people who are the we mentality and not those of the me mentality. And so that's one reason. I played with Barry Sanders, and I can tell you this, he was a we guy. And, you could argue with his extraordinary skills in athletics, he could have easily been a me guy, okay? You would never see him score and parade himself. in the end zone, he would graciously take the ball and walk it back to the sidelines or give it to the officials and walk off the field, and he'd go take his seat. And then he'd go right back into it again. He was so gifted. My partnership with him was unique in that I had the honor of, I said earlier, of replacing for a few moments the greatest running back in the world, international superstar, Hall of Famer. And he found it to be quite intriguing when I arrived in Detroit that they really went out and brought someone in to do something he couldn't. Can you believe that even goes in the same sentence? Barry Sanders can't do something on the football field. Are you serious? I mean, he's unbelievable, but he had a unique challenge. They found that he struggled in tight quarters. The closer the field was restricted, the more limited he became. And so when you got into what we call the red zone, you know, where the defenses, if you know anything about football, are a lot closer to the ball carriers. And so when we got inside the red zone, Barry wasn't as effective as I was in those situations. Or when we were in short yardage or goal line situations, Barry, when he ran, he was like a chicken in the yard. You ever tried to catch one? Woo, man, I'm an old country boy. And I've tried to catch a chicken and he ain't easy to get. Barry Sanders ran that way, but that wasn't required when you had to go a yard to 2 yards or on the goal line and get it across the goal line. It required straightforward attacking mentality, a lot of engaging and physicality. Barry Sanders wasn't going to be touched. I don't think he ever got tackled his entire career. It's just amazing this way. He couldn't touch it, you know. But I was one that was going to power the ball across the goal line and score from short yardage. I was your muscle guy, 235 pounds, and I was going to be downhill on you, and I was going to attack the line of scrimmage and get those critical short yardage that we needed. And so Barry Sanders, I remember the press coming to the locker, and they was trying to sort of get after him a little bit. And my locker was right next to him. We talk every morning, and so I'm standing there next to him. And I can tell you this, his response to bringing yours truly to the Lions was so incredible, as he said, well, they brought him here because he can do what I can't. You believe that statement? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That's a big compliment.
Is that big?
That's humble.
Big compliment.
Is that humility?
Yeah.
That's incredible, isn't it? Well, he goes even further. We became really good friends in a very brief time. And he said, you don't realize how great he is until you go to practice. You all saw him on television. Those of you who know football, when I saw him in practice, he did things in practice that pale in comparison, or in the game that pale in comparison to what he does in practice. And I would talk with him about these things, and I would take over this opportunity, and we became good friends. And then he says, I know you've been here about a week and a half. What I need, I know you don't have a place to stay. I have a condo that I don't live in. I've got the key to it. Here it is. I was staying in the hotel just arrived. Well, the next day, I don't have a car to drive. He comes to me and says, I've got 3 cars. Here's one, and you can have it. He said, you can just have it as long as you want and drive it, no strings attached. And so I did. And he was a wee guy. Y'all with that? He saw the value of making the Lions better by partnering with this guy that, y'all get that? Could get 1 yard. That's it. 1 yard's going to make that big a difference. You bet it did. 1 little yard. And he saw the value in that to step aside and allow that experience to happen. That's a we guy. Y'all with that?
Yes, sir.
That's a we guy now. I mean, he was the epitome of it. So we shared the backfield together, and it was an amazing, amazing experience. And I learned a ton from it. And I'll ask you this question. How do you know if you are a we or an us person or a me and a you person? How do you know? What's the very definitive way to know it? There's a lot of ways to probably know it. I will give you one, okay? And I'll say the question again, just to do it again. How do you know if you are a we or an us person or a me and a you person? I think the classic way to know would be to ask the people that you work with. Uh-oh. Is that good?
Yeah.
Is that good? I mean, ask those people that you work with. Am I a we person, or am I a you person, or am I an I person, or am I a me person, or am I an us person, you know? And it's an interesting question to ponder, and for your homework assignment, here I'm giving you this. You've got to ask someone that you work with, what's their impressions of you in regard to, am I a we person, or am I a me person? Are y'all with that? I mean, that's an interesting, you know, thought-provoking, even very challenging question. Now, I don't want you to be offended when you hear the answer, okay? Because this is ongoing skill development. We're going to get better, right? Because I really believe in sustainability, partnership, people working together, and so much more is accomplished when we bring our resources and talents and tools and abilities together. We can forge ahead with incredible things. And so this question I'm going to lay in your lap this afternoon to take home as a homework assignment. Here's the deal here. What are some of the signs, okay, or indicators? You know, you can ask the people you work with these things. And so what are the indicators or things that tell you, or signs that tell you you are a we person or a me person? And so I want you to take that home for homework. So the fundamental difference, I believe, is this. In the we people and the you people, get this, the fundamental difference in the we people and the you people, and someone said attitude earlier, and this is sort of another word coined for it, the difference is in how they think. Are y'all with that? Let me put you to the task. To make the assumption that you know what a we person is or looks like, and you know what a me person is and looks like, interactive time again, give me 3 examples, okay, or at least give me 1 example of a we person, a characteristic, and 1 example of a me person, as it is even relative to what we do in final experience, and even what we do in our business. You can make it relative to that, or you can make it general. So think about it for 5 seconds, and give me an example of a me person and a we person, and tell me the impact. Here, I saw your hand, sir, first.
A we person would be one that would celebrate the success of his colleagues.
Wow.
Versus bragging on oneself.
Can we echo that? Is that big time? That's a we person.
That's a we person.
Is that a we person?
Yeah.
That's a we person. Give me another we person. I want another we person.
A we person is someone who gets gratitude from helping somebody else.
Gratitude from helping someone else. From seeing someone else helped or helping that person. That is how you celebrate. That's a we person. Give me another we person.
I think it's his, but unselfishly looking after someone else without expecting gain.
Wow.
Wow.
How often do we expect gain?
All the time.
All the time. Got me something there for me. That's powerful. More we people.
A we person is someone that's willing to give of themselves without expecting something in return.
Wow. Wow. 2 more we people. Give me 2 more we people. Right here, man.
I was gonna say our lead person is, well, we have a man in our town that any type of disaster, it doesn't matter, if it's a little thing or the large thing, he's there. And when recognition comes, he walks away. He doesn't want it. That's-
Wow. He walks away, he doesn't want it.
he doesn't-
One more we person, right here.
Prime example, Jesus the Christ.
Wow.
A person who will lay down their life
Wow.
for you.
That's a we person, isn't it?
That's
That
correct.
is a weird.
That's a we person. I mean, that's a we person right there, man. Man, you're gonna make me jump through the roof on that.
That is
Good
me.
night. Give me some examples of some me people. All right? All right? Oh, wait in the corner, a me person.
Someone who like never like accepts responsibility, but in everything they're wrong, kind of thing.
Wow.
That's a me person. That's pretty selfish.
Wow. Me person.
What's in it for me? Get over mentality.
Get over mentality. Just enough to get what I need for me.
I built this agency.
I built this picture. Wow.
I built this agency.
Both of those letters are capitalized, by the way. Gee whiz, that's a great one right here.
They're quick to point out other flaws that doesn't see their own.
That's a me person, yeah? Couple more. Me people.
Congress.
Oh, classic. That's it. Give me one more.
Somebody that's just, you know, money, that's all they talk about.
Money, money, money.
You know what I mean, like, money's great, we work for it, but, you know, hey, a lot of people that I've met are Christians, and to me, one of my favorite Bible verses is Proverbs. It says, "The blessing of the Lord, He makes rich, and He adds no sorrow."
Wow.
So the money that we make is a blessing, but the real blessings are for God. And I'm sorry, I shifted from an I person to a we. But
That's good.
The I is, you know, I'm not saying they don't know God, you know, but it's just money. You know, I've met people, and y'all have too, whose lives are involved in it. Well, there are people that think they're going to take their money with them.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
I haven't met anyone that's done that yet, by the way. I'm still waiting on that. Anyway, awesome. Couple more here. This is a me person, right? Okay.
No I in team.
No I in team. I love it. Well, that's an old school one right there, isn't it? That's classic right there. Here.
Someone's gains come from the expense of other people's lives.
Wow. Someone else's gain comes from the expense of other people's lives. I mean, you know, a lot of times you've got to check your motives, don't you? You know, really our motives truly are where our hearts are. You know what I mean? You know, and that's a great statement to defend that. One more me person, and we're done with that. One more me person. Anybody else? Right here.
Somebody without a learning spirit, somebody who feels like they can't be taught anything maybe.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow. Can you say that again?
Somebody who doesn't have a learning spirit, they feel like they can't be taught anything anymore.
They're no longer growing, are they? They're no longer getting good. I mean, is that trouble right there or what? That's trouble, isn't it? That's trouble. Now here's the deal. For us that are seeking to be we people, it's important that we are able to identify we people when we see them. Am I right? Not for the purpose of putting anyone down, but for the purposes of what?
Helping them change.
Doing what? Uplifting them. What else?
It starts in the mirror.
Starts in the mirror. What else? For the purpose of what?
Lifting up.
Bettering others.
Bettering others, helping them recognize these things, and you know, for personal and positive change, right?
Know what role they play in the organization.
Know the role that they play in the organization.
To help people find their God-given abilities.
Wow. Wow.
Go above and beyond your call of duty.
Wow. Above and beyond your call of duty. So would it be of value for us in this organization, in your organization, to simply allow or let or ignore the me people?
No.
No, it wouldn't be. No, it wouldn't be. Because we need to see me people become what kind of people? We people.
We got to help them change.
How about that? Got to help them see that in very creative, constructive, and positive ways to do it, right? Because the more of us there are, the greater all of our opportunities become, you know? When we pool our resources, and Barry Sanders and I pooled our talents together, Barry Sanders was this dynamic dynamo of a player in space, and you couldn't touch him. He was unbelievable. Can I give you one run he made one time? I've got one last sentence to say, and I'm starting to share, and I'm done. We're in Green Bay. Y'all with me? We're in Green Bay, and I'm telling you, he makes a run, and we're all from the sidelines watching it, Benji. It's incredible, man. I've never seen anything like it in my life. He's 5'9", y'all with this? That's all he is, the little fragile little fella, you know? I mean, my gosh, 5'9". And what's amazing, we're on our own 20-yard line, Benji. The most amazing thing, Barry Sanders' gift is this. He has the ability to stop and start faster than you can. But he can go in any direction after he restarts. Are y'all with that? Most of us can't do that, okay? We're in Green Bay, and he makes a run. Wow! He gets the ball. The other secret to his greatness is this. You're going to tackle him and get him. He never approaches the line of scrimmage. If he approaches, that's where all the big linemen are. He never approaches it. So when we're giving him the ball, we're reaching back to him. He never gets to the line of scrimmage. His first move is 2 or 3 yards deep in the backfield. He wants separation. And if he can keep you off of him, he knows your ability to touch him is going to be very improbable. Are y'all with that? Well, in this unique situation, can I get 3 participants? 3 quick participants? Anybody? 3 people? 3 people, love it. Give me 3. Oh, this is good, Brian. Stay here, Brian, facing me. This is great, Matt. Boy, you think you all have me stopped, don't you? And who we have with that first name? Let me get up there, Sandra. There we go. Look at this. I need you to turn slightly this way right here. No, towards me, but angle right there. You need to turn just a little bit here. Let me tell you something. He got a ball once in the backfield, 2 yards deep, big outside linebacker. We had a 3 technique who's a defensive lineman who had escaped the line. He had an outside rush in from the backside. And we're on our own 20-yard line, people. And I'm still talking about we and me, okay? I'm still on that. Here he comes, extraordinary talent, you know. He gets that ball, and these 3 guys collapse on him, and he stops. You don't believe this, do you? He freezes, and when he stops and freezes, exactly what you're doing here. He stops, they stop. Woo! Oh, everybody just stops. It's the most incredible thing. Everyone just stops. And he does the most amazing thing. He looks at all 3 of them. Holy cow, tell me. Literally did this. Looked at all 3 of them. Everybody froze. And you know what he did? You won't believe this. These guys got jittery. When he did that, and he stopped and looked at all 3, he backed up. God almighty. He backs up, then stabs him again, and ducks outside. All 3 of them crash. Inside, he turns the corner. We're on the sidelines. He's passing us, and he's running 80 yards down the field, and he sticks it in the end zone. And here's the most amazing thing about this wee guy. Let me tell you, he is something else. He comes to the sidelines. Get this. He had a little sleeping disorder. He used to wear a dark face mask, and he'd come to the sidelines and does this. When he came, the crowd's going crazy, 80,000 people going nuts. Barry, Barry, Barry. And he's walking to the sidelines, and all of us on the sidelines having a conversation. Oh my God, did you just see that? We're talking quietly, silently among you. We're pro players too. But we're like kids in a candy store. He walks by the sidelines. He goes and sits on the sidelines, on the bench behind this dark face mask, just made one of the greatest runs you'll ever see. I go and sit next to him and just quietly look at him and say, how did you do that? And he just looks at me. You can barely see his eyes in that dark mask. He looks up and he just kind of says, that was it. And you know what happens next? The defense goes on the field and he falls asleep. You didn't know that, did you? No. You didn't know that, did you? He'll fall asleep right on the sidelines. And you know what happened? We're going to wake him up when the offense comes. He's going to say it again. It was a weak guy. And what's amazing, this weird guy, you know, partnered with this guy here, and we were able to do extraordinary things as he recognized he couldn't do what I could do, and I couldn't do what he could do. So we partnered together, came together, brought our resources together, and my gosh, we got almost to the Super Bowl. An incredible, incredible experience of we working together and what we can do that me can't do. What us can do and I can't do. And if you want to be successful in any endeavor in life, find you a whole bunch of other we people. Y'all with that? And get together with those we people and do some extraordinary things. I give you my last movie clip, Mel Gibson and Danny Glover in that movie, Lethal Weapon. Y'all seen that before? Yeah. Lethal Weapon, old school movie. Amazingly, that was one when Jet Li was playing in it. You remember the karate guy? Yeah. He was something now. There was a scene when they fought him. Y'all remember this? But before they fought him, they knew how good he was, right? He just took out. Good gracious. And one of the most amazing things, they had to fight. But what was amazing about it was the moment before the fight. He's standing there, Jet Li, they know he is dynamic, okay? And they sort of looked at each other and said, what? Well, this is what they were saying. Let's do it. He's going to be a son of you know what? That's what he said. And they dove in. But you know what's unique? They did it together. Y'all with that? And they wore Jet Li down. They wore him down. I am convinced that if you're going to be successful in anything, find you some weak people. In attitude and disposition, and skill sets, and the value and the return on that is extraordinary. You're looking at a weak person at the podium. I've done nothing in this life so far as achievement is concerned by myself. I am so dependent on skills, talents, resources, and opportunities from others to go and to accomplish everything I do in my life. And I would imagine that, I would hope that you think that way as well in this endeavor, in business, but in your personal lives as well. So as I conclude with you, it's not about the me, it's not about the you, but it's about the we, it's about the us. And I really believe that's why some organizations succeed and are sustainable and others fail. They either have a whole lot of weak people or a whole lot of good people. And one life, you have a whole lot of weak people. Thank you all very much.